Hi, welcome back to Grandma's Corner 2020. So I was looking around my house today, and you know how you just save things because you think one of these days you're going to use them and you never do. And I thought, well, I'm just going to start ditching stuff. And when I started making these videos, I thought, well, I really need to practice a little bit more reduce, reuse, recycle, and repurpose. So I found a couple of old floral arrangement containers that have this green wicking stuff that does hold water. There's a tray in the bottom. So this came with live flowers. And I thought, well, one of these days I could do something really cool with this. Well, today's one of those days. And I had also had another one, and as you can see, I already started this basket. Oh my gosh, isn't that awesome? I started putting together some greenery with some silk flowers that I bought at the dollar store. You know, that dollar store, what a bargain. You can get a little bouquet of flowers for $1. I went and bought these little yellow like sunflowers, and then I got some of these white ones and these purple ones, and then these little pink ones. I have no idea the names of them, but I'm going to be using them and continue to make my arrangement. And I thought, well, maybe I will go ahead and show you how to make one in here. So I also thought, I don't want to do just all silk flowers. What other things can I use? Well, I went out to my pluot tree and I took some branches, hard to see with the branches back there. I took some branches off of the pluot tree, which has a bunch of fruit on it, but I thought, well, these branches are kind of cool. I like the texture, I like the leaves, so I'm just gonna strip off the bottom, make an end to those. They're starting to get a little wilty because they've been sitting in this room for a while. The other thing that I have is this cute, cool succulent. I went in, I've got to trim these things, and I thought, well, I'm gonna go ahead and keep some of these. I'm going to put them in the arrangements as well. They have a lot of character. And then I also happen to have rosemary outside, and my room, oh my gosh, it smells so lovely. So I took off some sprigs of rosemary, cleaned the bottom of them, pretty well anyway. And then I was at my parents' house yesterday, and I found the coolest seeds that were falling from, I think it's a liquid amber. And these seeds are horrible. When you step on them, you think you're gonna go right through the roof because they're pretty spiky. Let me get you a close up on that one. Look at that! How would you like to step on that? But I thought, wouldn't that be cool in an arrangement? So I had some sticks that I had collected from another video that I had done. And I thought, well, what if I stuck them on a stick and then I can put them in an arrangement? So the cool thing about making arrangements is that, you know what? It is totally up to you what you want to do. It's all about your creativity, baby. So these things, by the way, I did hot glue gun them. As you can see, there's glue at the bottom, and then that way they're not going to go flying off. So I actually did put a couple of them in this arrangement already. Can you find them hiding? There's one here, there's one back here. So let's finish this one up because I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. And I think a few more flowers in here is really going to make this a nice centerpiece. So I like to put the foliage in first, and that fills it up quite a bit. And then I go ahead and I like to stick the flowers in. Now, believe me, I'm not a florist, but I can get away with doing something pretty simple like this and then be very proud of it. Well, what do you think of that, folks? Isn't that nice? Wouldn't you pay $29.99 for that? I would. Now, I put a little bit of water in the bottom because there's a plastic tray underneath that foam that is going to keep the live plants in there alive a little longer. Obviously, your silks, they're not going to need anything. And probably these dried sea pods, they're not going to need anything. But the leaves off of this fruit tree and the succulent that I chose also, and even the rosemary, they're gonna probably want a little bit of water to drink. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna get started on this other thing that I found, and let's see if we can turn this into something that's as attractive as the arrangement I already made. Get excited. Okay, so I was looking at the greenery that I had. I love the rosemary. So I decided, because this basket is quite a bit smaller than the other one I had to scale down a little bit. So I started pulling off some of the smaller branches off of the larger pieces that I had, and I stripped the bottom so they're ready to go in. I also have some water that I put in here, so this brick here is getting what do we call this stuff? The styrofoam is starting to soak up now, so any of the branches that I put in there are gonna start to absorb that liquid. So when you get bunches of flowers from the dollar store or wherever you buy them, Michael's and whatnot, I like to cut them apart. So you've got to get yourself a set of pliers that has a cutter on them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these, because I'm not gonna use these as an entire bunch. I'm gonna use them individually. Just no nipping of your fingers. All right, so now I've got all these flowers. I'm gonna push up the leaves because they tend to travel to the bottom a little bit. So I'm gonna push those up. I hear that Jagger in there. Jagger, come here, come join me. Come say hi, come say hi. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start off. I'm gonna go ahead and I took smaller pieces also of this succulent because the other pieces were way too big. So I'm trying to think, what kind of a design do I want? I think he hears the ambulance out there, so he's getting himself pretty darn excited. All right, so I'm gonna put those in there, and that's just gonna be the beginning. All right, so now I've got my succulent in there. I think now what I'm gonna do is take some rosemary, and I'm gonna put those in there as well. Just kind of shove them in. Did you get the bad guy, Jagger? Huh? Did you get him? Oh, yeah, I shouldn't say that. I'll get them all wound up. All right. Whew, this smells good. Tell them it smells like a turkey dinner. All right. Get some more of this going in here. Okay, that's filling out pretty nicely. So now it's just about the succulents and the rosemary. So it's pretty green. All right, let's see what else I can put in there. I think I might start putting in some of these flowers. I really like these. It's almost like a sunflower. All right, get some of these going in here. And this is a great project that even young kids can do because they're not going to get poked. You don't have to use the hot glue gun if you don't need to. You can cut the pieces up ahead of time. Just give them the foam, give them a container, and say, have at it. Make me something beautiful. And you know what? They will. It is going to be awesome. All right, so now I've added some color and some flowers, and look at that. Oh my gosh, that is really looking exquisite, if I may use that word myself. Now I'm going to stick some of these white ones in there. Give it a little contrast. Oh, that rosemary. You know, I use rosemary in my soup too. I make chicken soup. And I love it. Ah, look at this. This is really coming along nicely. Okay, and if you feel like this piece is too long, like I feel it's too long, I'm just gonna give it a trim. Or you can bend it back. That's the other thing you can do. And just shove it right in there. All right. Wow, look at that, folks. Now, I think I am gonna add a little bit of purple. Why not? That will be lovely. Put these right over here. Make a nice little bouquet of them. Oh, I'm really digging this. I think this is going to go right on my table. Now, I had shown you the pods, the seed pods that I found, and I thought, well, those would be a nice little complimentary addition. And I'll stick a few of these in there as well. Ooh, I think that stick is too long, so I'm just going to break that off. Stick one of these in here. You know, if you're a real florist, you're probably cringing. You're probably saying, oh my God, there's a rhyme or reason to all of this. It's very scientific and everything's got to be equal and oh, whatever. I just think if it turns out beautiful and you like it, then it is fabulous. Well, look at that, folks. You got yourself some silk flowers. I pulled a few things out of the garden. I used this horn basket that originally came with some fresh flowers. It already had the foam inside ready for me to put in more flowers or leaves or branches. And I would say that's quite lovely. So if there's some more holes in there you like to fill in, go ahead and do that. I'd say this is a success. I'm pretty excited. I hope you are too. And start rummaging through, you know, the back of those drawers and those cupboards that you just put things at because you'd say, oh, I'll get to that later. Well, later's now. Let's do it. Let's come up with these great projects. And you will have some beautiful ornaments in your home that you can enjoy for a long time. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining me. And enjoy. Happy you.